Jim, the most important skill I learned from using ChatGPT. So this video is about the art of asking questions. And I want to preface this video with, I've been using ChatGPT a decent bit to do some journaling, to bounce some ideas, to learn some shit, because you have this thing called the internet before, but the Google search, sometimes if you want to ask a very specific question, it's hard to get it. That was like the biggest pain point of Google search. But now if you have a specific question you want to be answered and in an actual digestible way, instead of Google search jamming you with a bunch of fucking links that don't even relate to your answer, then AI and ChatGPT is a convenient answer for that. A lot of people, they outsource some basic ask questions to it that they can literally just ask Google. But at this point, ChatGPT has a way better UI and interface than Google search. So this is how it is. But a lot of people, there has been this recent trend on like Twitter or Reddit where people ask ChatGPT a question about what is your psychoanalysis of me based off our conversations and shit. Because if ChatGPT, they have a memory function where they remember things that you said, and it seems like nobody else on the earth can really understand you more deeply than an AI, it seems, because everyone is so obsessed with themselves. They need to focus on themselves first, so they're not going to give that much of a fuck about you. But AI, it's now becoming more of like a reflection or a mirror, where now they actually do understand every single fucking thing you say, and nobody else can see you more through your soul than an AI now. That now you have the ability to ask them like straight up, hey, based off our conversations, what are some things that I could brutally improve on, or what are some hidden sites that I haven't really realized before? Because a lot of us have our own cognitive biases. We all live life through a wormhole, a tunnel vision, like a rabbit hole where we see everything in front of us, but our back is completely blind to us. We don't know what the fuck. Like, for example, in our conversations, we were going to be talking and maybe our grammar was weird, but we never understood it. And in ChatGPT, you can literally ask them, hey, what are some hidden things that I don't realize here? And he's going to tell you straight up. And you're going to think about it and be like, what the fuck? This is kind of crazy. And I've personally done this exercise myself. I've learned some things about myself that have really propelled me forward. I don't really remember them, honestly. I need to go look back into them, but I would share them. But like, they're kind of things that I'm still a little insecure about, because those things that the AI tells you, it's a harsh truth, and a harsh truth needs time to be digested. So to just say it out onto the internet or on video, or even say it out loud, you have to digest that truth first before it comes to that. And I'm still digesting it, is what I'll say. But AI is really good at this. But when it comes to this prompt, so this is a whole new skill set in the AI field called prompt engineering. It's been around for a few years now, ever since ChatGPT's around. And it's basically the art of asking specific questions for what you want. Because when you ask questions to people, a lot of people, they ask the most surface level questions. Nobody asks questions that really bounce off another person's ideas or goes deeper onto them. A lot of people, like, this is, for example, in like conversation, if you go to a random person, they're probably just gonna ask you basic ass shit like, oh, do you like candy? What is your favorite color, or some shit? Like it's like these basic ass questions, but when you're in conversation, you have to understand what is the context of it. And what I will say is the most important thing is when you ask them a specific question that probes their specific knowledge. Because a lot of people, they have this specific knowledge deep down in their heart, but they don't really consciously know it. It's up to you as the questioner to bring that out of them. So let's say in a company, when you're going to be co-working with your people, you just came to it, these co-workers in your company, they have specific knowledge relative to what are the faults and infrastructures in the companies, what are some specific workflows that saves them a shit ton of time, but it's not really said on the internet because it's such a specific thing to the company. Then you ask them this question. You have to ask them, like, hey, what is the opinion? Like, how are things done here? And instead of saying like a basic ass question, like for me in my own place, I will do some CAD work, and some questions, like sometimes it's easier just to ask them because they're there, but most parts, like you don't want to bug them with basic ass questions on, oh, well, how do I make a sketch? Like for CAD, right? Like some motherfuckers are gonna ask that shit because a lot of people, they don't have the capacity to think for themselves or go out and look for that information for themselves and figure it out. A lot of people, they just want to outsource their thinking to other people. They're outsourcing their thinking to AI now, and you don't want to let AI think for you because they don't understand you as deeply as you do. You have to make the decision yourself. You can use it to reflect your opinions, but you have to make the decision yourself. But basically, I will ask him, instead of like, how do you do the sketch here? I'll ask him, okay, in the specific catalog for the vault, what is the best workflow for this? And how do you suggest me to do it? Like a very specific question that only he's gonna fucking know. And the thing is, he doesn't consciously notice all the fucking time. He just does it because it's just what he does. But then you asking this because you don't know that, he's going to be intrigued by that question, be like, oh yeah, I do this and that. And the other person, they're gonna respect you a lot more for this because you probed their specific knowledge on something that they didn't even realize they knew. And this is what I learned from ChatGPT, right? Because ChatGPT, the potential is enormous. ChatGPT is trained on all of the fucking information in human history. You can learn literally anything from the AI on your fucking phone. But people, they don't have the skills to bring that knowledge out because we have this insane AI, but a lot of people, they will ask it the most basic questions because they have these unknowns that they don't realize they know. And the unknowns that you don't know are the greatest knowledge gaps in your mind. So it's difficult, I understand that, but it's important because people expect ChatGPT to give them all the solutions to their problems. But how the fuck are you going to find a solution to your problems if you don't even know what the fuck your problem is in the first place? Because people ask them, like ChatGPT, to somehow solve all of their like homework problems or whatever the fuck, their essay. Like sometimes AI is gonna hallucinate here and there, right? Happens. But most of the time you can get a pretty decent answer if you prompt it in a way and give it a lot of context such that they're going to answer your question in a way that you will be able to understand it and gain some knowledge you didn't even realize before. So this is the art of asking specific questions. I've personally done it now. You know, I will say like an example of a specific question is you want to ask people's opinions on things, right? Asking them their opinions, because nobody else has the opinion of what they have except them. This question doesn't have to be asked to ChatGPT. You can, like, ChatGPT doesn't really have a fucking opinion, but you can ask a person, like, what is their opinion on this? Like, let's say I went to like a Bitcoin meeting. I went to this one a few weeks ago. It was just like for fun. I just wanted to see what it was like in the local town, and I just saw it like on Meetup. I was trying to look for Asian people to meet, like just for fun, because there's like no fucking Asian people here. And it was like a Bitcoin meeting, and I was like, oh, well, I like crypto a little bit. I want to see what the fuck is up with him, because I was looking at his content online. It was this guy, he was yapping about Bitcoin on unlisted videos on a blog that gets like not much traffic. I found it extremely interesting, so I came to it, and we had the deepest fucking conversation about macroeconomics, politics, Bitcoin, American history. It was fucking incredible. We never met before. We talked for 2 hours fucking straight. And it's because I had this ability to ask the specific questions. I probed him for his specific knowledge. We were sharing childhood traumas on the first fucking conversation with each other. You don't get to that level of openness until you ask and probe them answers they didn't even fucking know they had. This is a really important skill. And I think this is like one of the important skills that a lot of people don't even realize they gain from doing like prompt engineering on ChatGPT. But it's really important, where like if I were to boil down the essence of what even is the art of asking specific questions, the essence of it is knowing what you want. If you don't know what you want, you're not going to get an answer that pertains to what you want. The answer is all in the question. You can get everything you want answered as long as you have a good question that pertains to what you want. So that is the first step. You have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, you can't get a good answer to it. And people get fucking mad at it. Because like even at the workplace, like these motherfuckers are going to ask you to do something for them, but they don't give you that much context on it. And they have an image of what they want in their mind, but it's hard. It's up to them to communicate them, right? You as the worker, like let's say you're going to hire someone and you want your work to be done in a specific way. It's up to you to communicate to that worker that you just hired on what you want. If you just say, hey, just do this, they're not going to do as good of a job as you might think, because there's that training. Like, this is what I fucking hate about corporate jobs, for example. A lot of these motherfuckers they expect you to do all of the shit that you weren't trained on, and they just expect you to come with it all up of yourself. And like the good thing is that like me, I'm a fucking G, so like I actually can do that. But a lot of people, they're just expected just to be told by the boss on what to do and just be a little robot for them. Don't even think outside the box. But these people, you have to communicate what the fuck you want. That is the art here. But that's pretty much all I want to say in this video. Don't really have anything else to say except that the art of asking questions is to pertain to what you want. You have to know what you want to get a good answer to your question. And there's a huge art to this because people, they open up because they have specific knowledge they don't fucking even realize they have, and it's up to you to probe it out of them. And they will respect you more for it because they'll internally realize, holy fuck, I didn't even know that. But this guy's out here like seeing me, because a lot of people deep down, they want to be seen by the other person. It's like a spiritual realm where people want to be connected, not just in the physical and emotional realm, but also in the spiritual realm. People want that connection. You know, people say this online where somehow we're in a cosmic soup of consciousness, because people want to argue what the fuck even is consciousness. And people like to say, like the great thinkers, that maybe we are all in just this cosmic soup of consciousness, and there's just little filters between us, and it's just up to us to connect. Because a lot of people, they just want to, like, I think about, like, it's really hard for me to communicate this really abstract thought, but I was thinking in this anime called Neon Genesis Evangelion, they have an anime where the guy Shinji, he's basically trying to live his life, but he has like all these insecurities, and he's got to save the fucking world somehow. It's like the mecha against like the angels and shit. And he's got like the two girls, so Rei and Asuka. And these characters are basically, they're somewhat variants of Shinji, like kind of mirror reflections of him, of his deeper psyche, basically. Like it's a pretty deep anime, honestly. Like it's not very surface level. It tells you all this. You kind of have to think about it like, wait, this character, the reason why they're here is because it's supposed to be a relation to Shinji's mind here, and it's like a test for him. Like Asuka, for example, was like a super yapper, but she deep down has like a super insecure past with her fucking parents and never really being seen, and she just wants all this attention from Shinji, and then it ends up with them trying to have like some moments. I don't fucking remember, honestly, but at the end of this anime, like, this is spoilers, but this anime is so fucking long, dude. But at the end of it, like, there's a movie, like, a very common theme in Evangelion is that people, they're never really communicating with each other. They have all these things that they expect from the other person, and they're trying to fucking talk about it, but like, everybody's just getting fucking mad at each other because they just aren't saying it. And there's a lot of issues deep down because they don't know how to communicate it, but deep down they also want to be seen for what the other person is saying. And there's a resolution at the end where I think like Lei somehow turns into some fucking cosmic soup planet moon or some shit, and then now there's like a Red Sea where at the end it's only like there's like all these people that they invaded the whole fucking planet. Everybody fucking quote unquote died, but not really. But it's kind of like their souls got extracted into a cosmic soup of consciousness, a theme that I was saying earlier. And at the end of it, the theme was that everybody was now finally able to understand each other because they're all in this cosmic soup, such that they don't need to go play all these fucking mind games and body language games and all this fucking bullshit. They just fucking understand each other. They just know. And there's a peace and serendipity of that. And that was the theme of it. And at the end of it, it was like Shinji and Asuka, and they were on the fucking sand beach, and they're just fucking chilling. And they're just like, yo, what the fuck now? Like, the world has ended. Now the fucking Rei moon is over there. Like, what the fuck do we do? I don't know. Like, there's a lot of meanings to that ending. I don't really fucking know, honestly. I still don't fucking know, dude. But the theme is that people deep down, they want to be seen by the other person. And it's up to you, as the questioner, to extract that knowledge from them. Because people have these answers that they don't fucking even know they have. And they want to tell them, but they don't know how. And they don't even know they have it. So I'm just repeating myself. I think it's important to repeat myself here, though, because it's such a difficult concept to wrap my head around, honestly. Like, I'm trying to explain this video. This video, it's kind of mentally challenging because this concept is so abstract. But I'll do my best. That's pretty much all I'm saying in this video. I'll see you guys.